I don't trust her, Ethan. Dad's voice still echoes in my head from that night, just 3 weeks before he died. I'd laughed then. You mean Victoria? She adores you. She adores what I have, he'd said quietly, eyes on the fire. Promise me you'll be careful if something happens. I never promised. I wish I had. The memory fades as the priest's voice drones over the casket. People murmur prayers, the sound of rain tapping umbrellas around us. Victoria's sobs cut through everything. She clings to my arm like she's drowning. He was my whole life, she whispers. I nod, but something inside me stays cold. Yeah, mine too. Her mascara streaks down her face, yet her grip feels firm, almost possessive. When the coffin lowers, she squeezes harder, like she's holding on to more than just grief. After the ceremony, I stand by the hearse, shaking hands I barely recognize. Your father was a great man, someone says. Yeah, I mutter, watching Victoria accept condolences with perfect poise, her tears drying faster than mine. Inside the church hall, the lawyer, Marcus Reed, clears his throat. There's a preliminary reading of Mr. Cole's will. Victoria wipes her face instantly, straightening her dress. Do we have to do that today? Marcus hesitates. It was his wish. She glances at me, smiling faintly. Of course. Ethan, dear, sit next to me. I sit, my head spinning as Marcus opens the folder. Mr. Daniel Cole's estate, including the family home and business holdings, is to remain in trust. Victoria interrupts, voice trembling but sharp. A trust. For how long? Marcus continues until both beneficiaries agree on future management. Her hand finds mine, nails pressing slightly. We'll work through it together, won't we? Yeah, I say, forcing a nod, though her tone feels rehearsed. After everyone leaves, I stand near Dad's portrait. His smile in that picture feels different, steady, honest. I whisper, you were right, weren't you? That night, I drive back to the house. It's quiet except for the storm outside. The place smells like old wood and flowers. I walk through the hallway, each step heavy. Victoria's in the study, her back to me. I pause at the door. Didn't think you'd be up this late. She startles, then smiles too fast. Just sorting your father's papers. It helps me cope. The light flickers across her face. No tears now, just a faint curve of satisfaction. You okay? I ask. I will be, she says softly. We'll keep his memory alive. Together. I nod, though her words don't sound like comfort. She turns, locking a small drawer in Dad's desk. What's in there? I ask. Private documents. Nothing you need to worry about. Her tone is sweet but final. She brushes past me, perfume lingering in the air. When she's gone, I stare at the drawer. It's new. Dad never mentioned it. My pulse quickens as I tug the handle, but it doesn't budge. Locked tight in the hallway mirror, my reflection looks hollow, like I'm watching someone else's life fall apart. Dad's warning echoes again. Be careful if something happens. I head upstairs, trying to shake the unease. From my room, I hear faint humming below. Victoria's voicesoft.com to calm. I peek down the stairwell. She's pouring wine, humming a tune, smiling at her reflection in the glass. The same woman who wept beside the coffin hours ago now looks peaceful, almost triumphant. My stomach twists. Maybe grief makes people act strange, I tell myself. But deep down, I know that smile isn't grief. It's something colder. That night, I barely sleep. The rain keeps falling. It's tapping against my window like it's warning me to wake up because nothing about this funeral feels real. Don't touch your father's things without me, Ethan. Victoria's voice follows me everywhere now. She says it sweetly, but it feels like a leash tightening around my neck. I'm just cleaning up the study, I reply, pretending not to care. Her smile is flawless. You don't need to. I've already taken care of everything. She's been acting like this for days. Soft voice, gentle hands, fake warmth. The more she smiles, the less I trust her. That afternoon, Liam calls. You sound dead. What's going on? Victoria's different, I say. Too nice. too careful. Maybe she's trying to make peace. No, it's like she's guarding something. She won't even let me near Dad's desk. Liam laughs quietly. Then she's hiding something. You gonna check? I will, I whisper. Tonight, night falls heavy and silent. The house feels colder than ever. I wait until Victoria's bedroom door clicks shut, then slip down the hall. The study smells like my dad's Colin faint, ghostly. The drawer I saw her lock calls to me like a secret begging to be told. I kneel beside it, my hands shaking. Come on, I mutter, sliding a thin screwdriver into the keyhole. The lock gives a faint snap. My heart pounds as I pull it open. Inside papers, thick envelopes, a flash drive, and a small notebook. I grab the papers first. Property deeds. Transfer requests. My father's signature copied, not written. I trace the ink. It's wrong. Too clean, too uniform. Then I see the names. Victoria Lane, not Victoria Cole. What the hell? I whisper, letters addressed to her maiden name, all from some law firm. A second document transfers full ownership of the house pending only my signature. My chest tightens. She's planning to take everything. The floor creaks behind me. My blood runs cold. Ethan. Her voice soft, too soft. I spin around. She's standing in the doorway in her silk robe, pretending surprise. What are you doing? She asks. I could ask you the same thing, I snap, holding up the papers. You forged his signature. Her eyes widen just a little, then she laughs. Oh, Ethan, that's ridiculous. Is it? Because these letters say otherwise. She steps closer, voice turning syrupy. You're grieving. You don't know what you're looking at. I know what fraud looks like, I say. You planned this, didn't you? Even before he died, her face drops the act. Watch your tone. I've tried to help you by stealing what's mine. She folds her arms. What's yours? You wouldn't even have a roof if it weren't for me. This house was my father's. I shoot back. Not yours, she glares, eyes hard as glass. Your father trusted me, and he left everything to us. No, he left it to me. You're rewriting his memory for money? Her voice rises. You think you can survive without me? You're just a spoiled boy playing detective. I don't need you, I say, gripping the papers. I'll show this to Marcus. He'll know. She laughs again, sharp and cruel. Marcus works for me now. The room tilts. What? Oh, Ethan. She sighs dramatically. You really thought loyalty could be bought with kindness? He knows which side pays the bills. I step back, heart hammering. You won't get away with this. Then go ahead, she hisses. Run to whoever you want, but not from here. What do you mean? Her expression turns icy. I want you out. Tomorrow morning? This house is mine to manage, and I'm done pretending otherwise. I stare at her, speechless. You can keep the car, she adds, walking past me. I'm not heartless. Heartless. I whisper, you buried my father last week. She pauses at the door, her voice cold. And you should learn when to stop digging, Ethan. The click of her heels fades down the hallway, leaving me in the dark study. I look down at the papers, the false signatures, the proof of betrayal glowing under the desk lamp. My hands tremble. For the first time, I understand exactly what my father meant. Be careful if something happens. Cold air seeps through the cracked window, biting at my face. The estate lights glow in the distance like a cruel reminder that I don't belong there anymore. I whisper to myself, you did it, Victoria. You won. My phone lights up with Ava's name. I hesitate, then answer, Ethan, where are you? Her voice trembles. In the car. Outside the house? You're still there? It's freezing. Can't leave yet. Not until I figure this out. You need rest, not revenge. I laugh bitterly. Rest doesn't change the locks. Silence fills the line. I can almost hear her breathing. She threw you out? Like garbage. Said the place was hers now. That's illegal, isn't it? She doesn't care about laws. She owns the lawyer, remember? then talk to another one. I will, I mutter, though I don't believe it. I can't walk away from what's mine. Headlights flash past. The night swallows me again. My stomach growls, but I ignore it. Hunger's easier than heartbreak. The next morning, I drive to Marcus Reed's office. He looks surprised to see me. Ethan, this isn't a good time. Make time, I snap. You knew what she was doing. He shuts the door quietly. Lower your voice. She forged his signature, Marcus. You saw the papers? I told you before, you're grieving. You're not seeing clearly. I slam my hand on his desk. Don't feed me that. My dad trusted you. He exhales slowly, eyes darting toward the blinds. Some things are better left alone. I stare at him. You mean she paid you? His lips press into a thin line. Go home, Ethan. I don't have one. I walk out before he can answer. The sun feels like punishment on my skin. Back in the car, I call Ava again. She got to him, I say. Marcus. Yeah, he told me to leave it alone. That's code for she owns me. Ethan. Maybe this isn't about fighting anymore. Maybe you need to let go. I can't. My dad warned me, Ava. He knew something was off. She sighs. Then what are you going to do? I stare at the mansion in the distance. Watch her. Wait. Find proof. That's not healthy. Neither is betrayal. Pass. The night returns, darker this time. The windows fog for my breath. My phone battery's dying, but I keep it on, just to feel like I'm still connected to something human. Then, headlights sweep across the driveway. Victoria's car. My pulse spikes. Another car follows a black SUV I've never seen before. I sit up straight, watching. She steps out first, wearing a long coat, hair perfect even at midnight. Then the SUV door opens, and a man climbs out tall, confident. His hands sliding around her waist like he's done it before. They walk to the porch. She laughs. That laugh, it's light, carefree. The kind she never used around Dad. He says something I can't hear. She tilts her head and kisses him. My hand curls into a fist so tight, my knuckles burn. The porch light flickers as they disappear inside. I whisper, so this is who you really are. The house looms ahead, silent, almost proud of her deceit. I feel small, invisible, but the fire inside me won't die this time. Ava calls again. I answer quietly. Are you okay? She asks. No, I say, but I know what I have to do. What's that? Stop being the victim. She's silent for a beat. Ethan, please don't do anything stupid. Too late for that. I hang up and stare at the mansion's glowing windows. Somewhere in there, she's laughing, believing I'm broken, but I'm not broken. I'm awake, and I'm done watching. Liam's voice cracked through the phone. You sure you want to do this, man? I've never been surer, I said, eyes locked on my laptop screen. She took everything, Liam. I'm just taking back the truth, he sighed. All right, send me her email. I'll dig where I can. Hours passed in the dim glow of the diner's Wi-Fi corner. My coffee went cold, but I didn't care. Every click, every file, every trace felt like a pulse in my chest. She's got layers of security. Liam muttered through the call, tapping fast. Your stepmom's no amateur. She's not my stepmom, I said sharply. She's a thief with good acting skills. Whoa. Okay, he replied. Give me 5 more minutes. I leaned back, staring at the ceiling fan spinning slow circles. My father's voice echoed in my mind. Trust Ethan, but never blindly. When Liam's message popped up, I straightened instantly. Liam found something. Private account under her maiden name. Transactions linked to a Ryan Blake, amounts in thousands. My stomach turned. Ryan Blake, I repeated out loud. Who the hell is he? Could be her partner. Could be her lover, Liam said. Either way, she's been wiring cash to him for months. I felt my throat tighten. Send me everything, screenshots, timestamps, everything. Within minutes, my phone buzzed with proof. Transfers from my father's business accounts. Notes labeled final payment. My name wasn't anywhere in sight, I whispered. She's cleaning house. You gonna take this to the cops? Liam asked. No, I said quietly. Not yet. Then what? I'll make my move. Later that night, I sat in Ava's apartment, the files open on her TV screen. Her brows furrowed. Ethan, this is serious. You could get her arrested. That's the point. She turned to me. You're obsessed. I'm focused, I said. There's a difference. Her voice softened. Your dad wouldn't want this. I laughed bitterly. My dad wouldn't want to be robbed by the woman who kissed his coffin. Ethan, she started this, Ava. I cut in. She doesn't get to walk away clean. She looked down, her lips trembling slightly. Just don't lose yourself, okay? I nodded, though I wasn't sure I still knew who I was. The estate looked different at night, colder, quieter, like it already knew I didn't belong anymore. The key my father had once pressed into my palm felt heavy in my pocket. I whispered to myself, for you, Dad. The lock clicked open after one slow turn. I slipped inside, moving like a ghost. The study smelled the same polished wood, faint cigar smoke. His spirit still there somehow. The drawer I'd once broken open now sat repaired, sealed with a new lock. I ignored it. My focus was the bookshelf corner, the perfect blind spot for a camera. I knelt down, taped the tiny lens beneath the ledge, and whispered to it like an oath. Catcher. Every word. As I left, I took one last glance at the family photo still standing on the desk, my father smiling. Victoria's hand on his shoulder, mine at his side. It felt like a lie now. 3 days passed. Every second felt like waiting for a storm. Liam texted constantly. Liam, any footage yet? Me, not yet. Liam, you okay? Me, I will be. Then, one night, my phone buzzed with a notification from the hidden camera app. Motion detected. I opened the feed. My pulse spiked. Victoria walked in wearing my father's silk robe like a trophy. Then a man followed, tall, sharp-featured. Ryan Blake. They talked softly, then clearer as she stepped closer to his ear. Everything's nearly done, she said. Once we close it all before Ethan finds out, it's over. He smirked. And the kid? He'll disappear, she replied coldly. My breath froze. I replayed it twice, her words cutting deeper each time. Before Ethan finds out, I whispered, too late. My hands trembled. But not from fear, from fire. For the first time since the funeral, I didn't feel powerless. I felt ready, and I knew exactly where to strike next. My phone buzzed just after sunset. Caller ID read Marcus Red. I hesitated before answering. Why are you calling me? His voice was rough. Ethan, we need to meet now. It's about your father's will. I clenched the phone tighter. You already said there was nothing else. I lied, he admitted. Please, just hear me out. A long pause filled the air before I said, fine. 10 minutes. Coffee shack, near Route 9. He was already there when I arrived, same pressed suit. Yet his eyes looked older, hollow. I slid into the booth across from him. You've got 2 minutes. Talk. He rubbed his temples. Victoria came to me weeks before your father's death. She offered me money too. To what? I snapped. To hold back the original will, he said quietly. She paid me to file a fake version that left her in charge. My heartbeat roared in my ears. You're saying you helped her steal everything? Yes. He reached into his jacket, pulling out a small flash drive. But I made a copy before I destroyed the real one. This is your father's true will. Everything was meant for you. I stared at the drive, my hand frozen halfway. Now you suddenly grew a conscience, he sighed. Guilt doesn't sleep, Ethan. I've been seeing your dad's face in every mirror since that day. I leaned forward. You took a bribe to bury my father's wishes. You expect me to forgive you because you feel bad? Marcus looked down. I don't expect forgiveness. I just want to make it right before she ruins you completely. The words stung because part of me wanted to believe him. I finally took the flash drive. If this is real, you better pray it's not too late. He nodded slowly. Be careful. Victoria's smarter than you think. I gave a bitter laugh. Yeah, I learned that the hard way. Back at my motel. The walls hummed with cheap air conditioning and the low buzz of neon light outside. I plugged the drive into my laptop, my pulse racing. The document opened, my father's signature, notarized, dated a week before he died. My name filled every page. It was real, I whispered. She really did it. She took everything. For a moment, the anger and relief tangled inside me. Then I opened a secure email, attached the files, and sent them to a detective anonymously. My fingers trembled as I hit send. Let's see how you like being cornered, Victoria. I leaned back, staring at the ceiling, the weight of months pressing on my chest. Then came the knock. 3 sharp taps, soft, deliberate. My heart skipped. Who's there? It's me, Ethan, came the voice. Smooth. Familiar. Victoria, I froze. How did she even know where I was staying? I opened the door halfway. She stood there in a long coat, her hair loose, eyes red from fake tears. Can we talk? Talk? I said coldly. You mean lie? She stepped closer. Please, I made mistakes, but we can fix this together. Together, I laughed. You stole everything my father built and left me sleeping in my car. Her voice softened. You think I wanted that? I was scared, Ethan. I didn't know what to do after he died. I panicked. You panicked your way into forgery and fraud? I did it for security, she whispered. You were too young, too emotional. I wanted control. Control, I repeated, taking a step forward. You wanted power? Tears rolled down her cheeks, perfectly timed. I loved your father, and I care about you, even if you don't believe it. I almost laughed until she said it. I know about the flash drive, she whispered. My blood ran cold. What did you just say? The flash drive? She repeated, forcing a smile. You think I didn't know Marcus gave it to you? I didn't answer. I hadn't told a single soul. Not Liam, not Ava. She tilted her head, watching me freeze. You can stop pretending, Ethan. I see every move you make. The room shrank around me. You bugged me. Her expression barely shifted. You made this a game of survival, not me. My fists clenched. Get out. She hesitated, her tone suddenly calm. I'm giving you one chance to hand it over. Don't make me regret being kind. I stepped aside and pointed at the door. You've already lost your kindness the day my father died. She looked at me for a long second, then smiled faintly, like someone who'd already planned the next move. As the door closed behind her, I sank onto the bed, heart pounding. If she knew about the flash drive, that meant she'd been watching me all along. I stared at my reflection in the mirror, forcing my trembling lips into something that looked like weakness. You have to believe it, I muttered. Desperate. Broken. That's who she expects. Ava paced behind me, arms crossed. Ethan, this is insane. You're walking straight into her game. It's not her game anymore, I said, adjusting my collar. It's mine. She's dangerous. So am I. I looked at her through the mirror. I just need her to talk. Ava's eyes softened, voice trembling. And if she doesn't fall for it, then I'll make her. Liam's voice crackled through the phone on the counter. Recorders are live, hidden in the chandelier and the centerpiece. You'll get clean audio. I nodded. Perfect, Ethan, he warned. Don't lose your temper. You're not there to fight. Trust me, I said, pocketing my phone. Fighting's the last thing I want. But I didn't believe my own words. The dining room smelled of polished wood and deceit. Candles flickered between crystal glasses. I'd set everything up. 2 plates, red wine, soft music. The stage was ready. Victoria arrived fashionably late, as always. Her heels clicked against the marble floor like gunshots. You look tired, she said sweetly, hanging her coat. I haven't been sleeping, I replied, forcing a weak smile. You've been on my mind. Her painted lips curved. I didn't think you'd ever say that again. I've had time to think. About us. About everything. I gestured toward the chair. Sit, please. She did, brushing her hair over one shoulder. Ava didn't approve of this, did she? I froze for half a second. You still keep tabs on me? She smiled. Old habits. Careful not to spill. I just want to talk. Maybe fix what's broken, her eyes gleamed. You still love me, don't you? I let out a shaky laugh. Maybe I never stopped. For a second, she believed it. I could see it, the flicker of triumph, the arrogance. She took a sip of wine, leaned forward and whispered, I didn't mean for it to get so ugly. Ugly how? I asked softly. She hesitated, glancing toward the window. Your father was complicated. He wanted to control everything. I just wanted my freedom. Freedom, I repeated. That's what you call marrying him for his money? Her expression tightened. Don't make me the villain. He used me too. But you played the part perfectly, I said. The grieving widow. The loving stepmother. Victoria's mask slipped. You think I enjoyed pretending? I did what I had to do. Ryan and I, she stopped mid-sentence. I tilted my head. Ryan and you what? She exhaled sharply. We planned it together, all right? The marriage, the inheritance, all of it. Your father never saw it coming. My pulse roared in my ears. And the tears at his funeral? Fake, she said coldly, but effective. Every word burned into my phone's recorder. Every lie exposed. Then a crash. The door slammed open. Ryan stormed in, eyes wild, jacket half open. Where is it? Victoria's face went pale. Ryan, not now? Where's the money, Vic? He glared at me. You told me he transferred it. I stood, heart pounding. You really picked the wrong night. Ryan pulled a small pistol from his jacket. Ava's voice echoed in my head. Don't lose your temper. Victoria stepped between us. Put it down, Ryan. Shut up. He shoved her aside. You ruined everything. I took a slow step forward. You want money? Take it. Just tell me the truth. He laughed bitterly. The truth? She used you, man. She used everyone. Victoria's voice rose in panic. He's lying. I looked at her, really looked. The fake tears, the trembling act, the mask cracking under fear. No, I said quietly. He's not. She lunged toward me, screaming. Ryan swung, missed, and chaos exploded. The gun hit the floor, skidding under the table. She clawed at me, shouting, You ruined us. I shoved her back just as red-blue lights flashed through the window. Sirens wailed outside. Ryan froze. You called the cops? I smiled faintly. No need. They've been listening. Victoria turned toward me, realization dawning. The recorders. Every word I said. You trapped yourself. The pounding on the door grew louder. Police. Open up. Victoria backed away, trembling. Ryan made a run for it, but before he reached the hallway, the door burst open and officers flooded in. I stood there, chest heaving, the wine glass shattered on the floor beside me. Victoria's eyes met mine, filled with fury and disbelief. I loved you, she whispered. No, I said, voice flat. You loved winning. As they dragged her out, the room fell silent, except for the faint hum of the hidden recorder still blinking red. For the first time, I didn't feel weak. I felt free. The courthouse steps felt heavier than they should have. Cameras flashed, reporters shouted my name, and I tried to keep breathing. Ethan, did you know about the fraud earlier? Someone yelled. I kept my eyes on the handcuffed pair being led past me, Victoria and Ryan. She looked smaller now. Stripped of her charm, her face pale beneath the harsh daylight. Ethan, Detective Nolan said, pausing beside me, your evidence did the job. The recordings, Marcus's statement, airtight case. I nodded, my throat tight. So it's over? He gave me a slow nod. For them? Yeah. For you. That's up to you. Victoria turned then, her eyes finding mine. You think you've won? She hissed, voice trembling. You'll never escape what you've done to me. I laughed bitterly. What I've done? You used my father? You lied to everyone. You tried to steal his legacy. Her lips twisted into something that used to be a smile. And you played me just the same. Maybe we deserved each other. Ryan jerked his arm in the officer's grip. You ruined everything. He shouted at her. Victoria snapped back. You were supposed to keep your mouth shut, Ryan. The officers dragged them apart. For a moment, their chaos drowned out the world. I just stood there, watching the end of something poisonous. Ava appeared from behind the crowd, her soft hand finding mine. Hey, she whispered. It's done. I exhaled, shaky. Feels strange. I should feel good. Should feel free, she said gently. Free, I repeated. Maybe, but my dad's house. It doesn't feel like home anymore. Every room reminds me of what she took. Porter still shouted questions, flashes stinging my eyes. Mr. Cole, how long was the affair going on? Did you plan the sting operation yourself? Do you forgive her? I looked straight at the cameras. My father believed in trust, I said evenly. That trust was broken. I just made sure the truth came out. Then I turned away. Ava followed me to the edge of the courthouse steps. You don't have to face them, she murmured. I already did, I said quietly. Every night since he died. She squeezed my hand. You did the right thing. Maybe, I said. But it feels like I buried her twice, once at his funeral and again today. The street below was packed with news vans. One of the headlines scrolling across the screen read, Widow and lover charged in inheritance fraud. My name appeared underneath, but it didn't make me proud. Ethan, Ava said, tilting her head. What now? I stared at the courthouse doors closing behind the officers. I go back, I said. To the house? Yeah. It's mine now, legally. But it doesn't feel like victory. It feels like survival. She studied me for a long moment. Then let's make it something else. Something your father would have wanted. I smiled faintly. You think it's possible? I think it's worth trying, she said, her thumb brushing my wrist. The air felt lighter, though the weight in my chest didn't fade. Across the street, Marcus stood under a tree, watching. He gave me a nod, a silent apology. I nodded back. Come on, Ava said softly. Let's go home. I looked up at the courthouse one last time. Yeah, I murmured. Let's finally go home. As we walked away, the sirens faded behind us. For the first time in months, I didn't look back. The storm had passed, but I knew the echoes would stay in the reflection of a car window. I saw myself not the broken son, not the vengeful man, just someone trying to start again. And maybe, I thought, that was enough. The house felt different now, quieter, hollow, like it was waiting for something to end. I stood in my father's study, dust swirling through a beam of pale morning light. The air still smelled faintly of old paper and his cologne. As I moved the chair to sweep underneath, something caught my eye. A small, sealed envelope yellowed at the edges. My name was written on it in my father's handwriting. My throat tightened. Dad, I whispered, though I knew he couldn't answer. I tore it open carefully, my hands shaking. Inside, his familiar voice echoed in my head as I read, Ethan, if you're reading this, I'm already gone. Don't let anger define you, son. Protect what's yours, but never lose who you are. People will betray you. Let them. Just never betray yourself. I sank into his chair, gripping the letter so tight it crumpled. Ava appeared in the doorway. You okay? I nodded weakly. He left me this. She stepped closer, eyes soft. What does it say? I read the words aloud, voice cracking halfway through. When I finished, silence filled the room like fog. Ava whispered he knew. He must have seen something in Victoria long before you did. Maybe, I said, staring at the signature at the bottom. Love, Dad, but I didn't listen. I let rage drive everything. She touched my shoulder gently. You found justice, Ethan. Not revenge. I laughed bitterly. Sometimes I can't tell the difference. I looked around the study, the shelves, the worn rug, the faint marks where the safe used to sit. He built all this from nothing, I said quietly. And she almost took it all because I was too blind to see. Ava leaned against the desk. You can rebuild it in your way. I met her eyes. No, I think I need to let it go. Her brow furrowed. What do you mean? I'm selling the mansion. All of it. I'll keep a few things that matter, his watch, his books, but the rest, it's just walls full of ghosts. She stepped closer, voice trembling. Are you sure? This was his dream. His dream wasn't this, I said. It was what it represented: hard work, legacy, honesty. Maybe I can honor that by starting over, not clinging to the ruins. I turned the letter over in my hands. He supported the Lakeview Children's Foundation, right? Yeah, she said softly. He used to visit every Christmas. Then I'll donate part of the inheritance there, I said. He'd like that. Ava smiled faintly. He'd be proud of you. I hope so, I murmured. Because right now, I feel like I barely survived myself. The afternoon sun burned through the curtains, painting the room in gold. I gathered the letter, the watch, and a few family photos into a small box. Everything else stayed behind. Liam stopped by later, leaning in the doorway with a smirk. So this is it. You're really selling? Yeah, I said. It's time, he nodded. Can't say I'll miss this place. Too many bad memories. Tell me about it, I said, glancing at the study door. But it taught me something. What's that? That revenge feels good for a second, but peace lasts longer, he grinned. You sound like your old man. Guess I finally learned to listen, I said. When they both left, I stood alone in the hallway one last time. The house seemed to breathe quiet, forgiving. As dawn crept over the horizon, stepped onto the porch, the air cool and clean. The sky glowed orange and pink, washing the mansion in warmth for the first time in months. I held the letter to my chest and whispered, You were right, Dad. Justice isn't revenge. It's peace. The wind carried my words through the trees. For the first time since the funeral, I felt light. Not because everything was perfect, because I finally understood what to let go of. I turned toward my car, the sun rising behind me. The road ahead stretched open and endless. And for once, I didn't look back.